I can admit we both did it. We both like would put the blame on each other. So if something happened, I don't have nobody to blame but myself. I'm just want to be happy and stay within myself and be able to wake up every day and be able to look at myself in the mirror and be happy with who I am.
I wanted to get healthy so quick. I started taking the medicine that I needed to take so soon, so quickly, and nothing happened. No results came. I got even worse.
Started to just not think about things, just go ahead and do it. And even help yourself. How you expect me to help you? There's a whole bunch of different things that you could express through text message than you could do through actually talking in conversation. Like you could actually feel like when you're about to have, like if somebody's distant, you could feel it through the text message. How have you been?
I'm good, just learning more about myself, just growing, just working,
Same.
How you been?
Had a couple rough days, but I'm getting through it.
How do you get through rough days?
Well, for me, because I overthink a lot, so I have to sometimes I have to stop and sit and take my time and worried about what's going on now instead of what's going on in the future. So sometimes I just got to sit, calm down, and just think about what's happening now. Stop worrying about things that I can't control that's going to happen in the future. Because I don't know if it's going to happen that way. For sure.
That's hard to do. What do you think about the future about?
Mainly I just want to have more security, with myself. And I'm real doubtful of myself lately. So I've been having to do pick me ups on myself and try to remember everyone's going to have their moments where they're going to mess up. It's inevitable. I just can't keep beating myself up whenever I mess up on something.
That's the hardest thing to realize, endure yourself.
Very much so. Been dealing with that for the longest.
You've done some growing, huh?
Over this past year has been. Now, last year I thought was hard, but this year it was. I'd rather have last year than this year, honestly.
Wow, what happened?
So I got out of a 4-year relationship this year, earlier in March. And really throughout the whole relationship, I had really bad insecurity problems. So once I got out, I had to start focusing on getting myself together and getting my anxiety and depression and stuff together by myself in my own space. I got my own place now. So it's kind of have to adjust to being on my own and not beating myself up too much whenever something goes wrong. Because it's hard. I beat myself up a lot.
Yeah, we all do. We all beat ourselves up simply because, why does this happen to somebody that's good? That's the question on hand. Why does bad things happen to good people? I don't know. I seriously don't know because I went through a divorce as well. Well, not as well, but I went through a divorce this year. It was hard. It was hard because I had to do something that I wasn't used to doing. I had to figure myself out. I had to identify what solitude was, learn with it, rather than against it. And I've learned this has been the best year of my life because I started to learn more about myself.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Honestly, I use that person in that relationship as a crutch so much. So I would just put all my focus into that person and I'll just put myself last. So now I have to work on putting myself first and my needs first above other people, which I haven't done in what would have been almost 5 years. So
So how do you get to the stage of putting yourself first rather than putting anybody else first?
Well, for one, I don't have a person constantly like 24/7 here for me to use as an excuse. That's one different thing that's like changed. Cause like if anything went wrong, I can admit we both did it. We both like would put the blame on each other. So if something happened, I don't have nobody to blame but myself. So I have to learn how to put myself accountable for things that's going wrong. So number one, learning how to take accountability for things is a big step.
Kaitlyn, that is a big step because taking accountability, taking ownership of your own actions is
It
hard. It's challenging. But once you're able to do that,
it
you're able to
is.
grow.
Like
What you about to
once I
say?
learned how to like start and take accountability for myself, like and then I started like with like my I have really bad anxiety and like with that comes with like I have moments where I'm like depressed and like beat myself down. And it's like I have to learn how to pick myself up and not rely on somebody else to do it. Because if I'm not going to be able to pick myself up, I shouldn't expect nobody else to do it. So I started like doing things to make me feel better throughout the day.
So
Mm-hmm.
you started to date yourself again, or would you say for the first time? That's what I learned. It was a book called Single on Purpose. As I'm reading it, it explained we put all our time and effort to get to know this other person. Well, what about ourselves? When do we date
Yeah.
our us? I was like, oh, you got a point. Then the book dived in a little bit deeper. He said, when you first meet somebody, what do? You want to know every
Mm-hmm.
intricate detail about them. Why can't you know every intricate detail about yourself? So as I'm reading this book, I'm like, yeah. I got my pen, highlighting and writing notes, and I'm really like in tune with the book. I've learned we never understood what a relationship was because we didn't
That
have it
is
with
true.
ourselves first. Oh my goodness, Kaitlyn! I tell you, it's been it's been new, but this whole last couple of months has been great because I identify who I am now. Who is Kaitlyn today?
today, today, I like, if I was to like see myself through like somebody else, I see a more confident person and I'm not so much closed in like I used to be. Like I used to like, I'm be honest, I'm like super shy until you get to know me, or like until I get to know you. It's just a wall that I've just had because I've just been ran over so much in my life. So now my wall is kind of just like depending on who you are. Because I sometimes, because I'm so quiet, I could kind of like read a person a little bit. So I could kind of like feel like if your intentions like you really trying to get to know me, or like you trying to see what I could do for you. So it's like certain people, I'll just be like, I could just talk to you as a work friend or as like just an associate. But there's other people that I've like, you could like genuinely tell like they actually want to get to know who I am as a person and not just what I could do materialize.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So you know your value now. That's what you
Yeah.
just described. Knowing your worth is so prominent because we understand who we are as a person. We understand the value that we bring, and if you're not bringing that
Right.
same value, there's no point of us talking. No point of us talking. It's difficult to understand everything about yourself because it's a lot. As a male, as an African American male that was raised by a single mom, it is hard. I wasn't raised to have emotional intelligence. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know there was a thing. But EQ is so vital because you understand the details are not being spoken about. Are you proud of the growth that you
Within
developed
these
within
last
yourself?
couple months, yeah, because I've been through a lot in my life, and to get be like actually see where, because honestly, I probably wouldn't have be here a couple years from now. Like, well, no, like in the past, few years ago, I wouldn't have been here, honestly. So I'm kind of proud that like I've gotten out of that stage and like I'm better with myself, not worried about how everybody else feels about me. I'm happy, I'm okay.
Mm. So for somebody that's struggling with that, and identifying how to go from one phase to another, and to start growing, and to put yourself first, what advice would you give?
Um, don't try to rush it. Like, I'm with certain things, I know I can be impatient, and I've learned like if you just slow down, like it's gonna come eventually. But also you have to do the work. You can't expect something to happen like overnight.
Mm.
Like, yeah, you could always have like a dream, but it's always gonna be a dream until you put some work into it. And that's what my stepmom always told me. She was like, you could always have a dream. Everybody has a dream. And then my brother who passed away last year, he has, yeah, it's
Sorry
okay.
to hear that.
Well, we remember him by, he has a word he made up called Venergy. And I never say it right, but he was like something like, I can't think of it right now because anxious. So it's gonna come to me later. But he was like, you have a vision. When you have a vision, you have to put some energy into that vision to make it come true. Like, if you don't have the energy, if you don't have the drive for that vision or for that dream that you have, you just gonna be sitting here dreaming all day. It's, I said, instead of
I'm
actually
sorry, what you
living,
say?
you just sitting here dreaming all day.
Mm. That is a
Venergy,
word. What do you say? Um,
Venergy is
say it
vision
one more
and
time.
energy put together.
Energy. That is a word. That is a word that great word that he made up. Okay, great definition behind it. I've learned if you don't have vision, you don't have nothing. But if you don't have action, your
Hmm.
dream is wasted. So I'm like, as I'm learning, doing all this studying, I'm learning that everybody started with a dream, but what separates the doers and the thinkers is just the people that just get up and do it. What dream are you chasing?
As of right now, as of right
Mm-hmm.
now, I'm just want to be happy and stay within myself and be able to wake up every day and be able to look at myself in the mirror and be happy with who I am. I still have my days where I just wake up and I'm not happy with myself, but I'm in a good place, and I just beat myself up so much that I just bring myself down. So I just want to wake up and be proud of myself no matter what wrongs I've done in my life. I just want to be proud of the person that I
Wow, you're
am.
speaking from growth, woman. You're speaking from growth. Because I hear it, I feel it. That
Hmm.
energy. I think I said it right. It's real. It's real because you can identify the type of energy that you want to be around. Everybody I come in encounter with, I'm able to feel and read you without even trying to read you subconsciously. Okay, I don't do it intentionally,
Yep.
but it just happens. It's like your energy get put on mine. If my energy is going down, I
True.
can't be around you. But if my energy get put on you and we able to converse and speak amongst each other, now we can have a conversation. So I'm like, at first when I realized that, that was scary. I realized that a couple months ago. A couple months ago, I was speaking with somebody, and as we are talking, as we are conversing, I'm feeling my energy go down, and we just talking. He's just talking. I didn't know what it was. So I'm like, hey man, I gotta go. I don't know what just happened,
Yeah, you just.
but I gotta go. This ain't. You
Hmm.
feel me? Like it ain't sitting right with me. But then I learned nothing happens for nothing. There's always
Yeah.
something that's happening that will, give you some details. So I've learned it's good to study who I am and what I'm willing to handle. I'm not willing to handle a lot. I'm not. I'm not this strong no more.
I used
I
to
am
my
not.
tongue so much, and nowadays it's just like, just don't start. Just don't start, because I don't care no more. Like, you hurting me at this point. If I have to say something to you, it's bothering me, and that's where I have a problem. I like my peace, and when you Disrupting it, you got to move around.
And people don't understand how important peace is. When did you identify peace? Like, what made you identify peace?
I started like working on myself and like seeing like results, like seeing like myself change and like actually seeing the results of me putting in the work. And I was just like, I if I just keep this up, I'll be fine. Like I have nothing else to worry about. I'll be fine if I just keep up what I'm doing. And I've actually seen like from my promotion on my new job, I feel like from March when the split happened till now, it's been a big difference.
What's the biggest notice? Wait, first before I ask that, congratulations on that promotion. Congratulations on that. What's been the biggest lesson that you was able to identify within the last couple of months?
That I'm trying to think how I could put it. That I don't need nobody else. That I'm okay if I'm just by myself. I don't need to nobody take care of me. I don't have to take care of nobody else. If I'm stuck on this earth by
Mm-hmm.
myself, I'll be okay. But if you're here with me, that means I want you here.
Wow. That that's a valid.
If
That
I
is a
want you
bar. Say that
here,
last part
I mean, if
again.
you are here, that means I want you here. I don't need you here though.
And all this came from your heart getting broken. Ain't that
It's
ain't that something?
crazy.
Right? It is. My heart was shattered into pieces. But every time I pick up a new piece and put the heart back together, I'm a new version. I'm a new person. I'm not the same Terrell that I was a couple years ago. These pieces are getting picked up and a new identity is being built.
I feel that.
Oh my goodness. I've learned the best thing that we can do as people is to learn who we are. Because people don't see your value. That is okay. It's not up to me to convince you what value you see.
Now that is true. Other people try to tell me, but I'm like, I hear, but I ain't listening right now. I need to find it in myself before anybody can tell me.
Do you hear me? I mean, don't get me wrong. People got their opinions. People, okay. If it's good,
Right,
I'll take it in. I'll listen. If it's bad, I won't take it in. I probably won't listen. Well, I'll listen. I'll take it in, but
right.
probably won't apply it. It's just like, oh, this is what that means. This is what it feels like to be aware of yourself, and it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be aware of yourself.
Mm-mm.
What you think about that?
Speaking to my soul right now. Speaking to my soul.
How so? How
Cause it's
so?
like, cause I can tell that you've grown too, and only people who've like grown like through the like growth of like trying to figure out who you are as a person will only understand like how it feels for like I don't know for you to come out like who you are because you only have to go through it for you to understand other people who've gone through it. Is what I'm trying to say. Like you have to go through it to understand.
I,
But if you just really
you
neutral, like
you
you
gotta
can't
feel the
just
pain.
stay in like one spot in your whole life. You can't.
No, you cannot. It's like speaking a language. What is called? It's like speaking a code without
Yeah,
speaking. You can't really explain that. You can't really like describe it in details unless you've been through pain, unless you've been through suffering. It's like, oh, that's what it means. You can feel the energy of people that you're speaking with because they
because
probably
you
went through something.
always tell somebody it's gonna be
Probably,
okay, but until you've actually gone through some pain, you don't know how that person feels. So you don't know if it's gonna be okay, if it's gonna be worse. I always tell people like you could cry because it's gonna hurt no matter what, but just don't be stuck in that pain. Because if you're gonna be stuck in there, you ain't gonna grow. You just gonna be stuck for the rest of your life. So you could go ahead and cry. You could go, it's because it's gonna hurt. I ain't gonna tell you it's not gonna hurt. I ain't gonna tell you it's gonna be okay because I don't know. But once you wipe your tears away, get some work done and work on yourself. It's gonna be fine after that.
And that's hard to understand. Because you said a valid point earlier that I want to touch back on. You said I just sit in it. I just sit in the pain. I just sit in it. A lot of times we want to be healed so quickly, we forget about the journey that's there. A couple months ago, I was sick. I'm talking about I was dog sick. I felt me getting sick, so I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna go to the store, give me some orange juice, drink some vitamin C,
Right.
and drink some BC and take some medicine. Did that all in one day. I've drunk 4 of them orange juices. I don't know if you know this, but orange juices has a lot of sugar. I believe 46 grams per bottle in them small itty bitty containers. 46 grams of sugar, and I drank 4 of them. The next day, I felt horrible. I was not healthy. I was not healed. I was not. I didn't heal from that. The moral of the story is that I wanted to get healthy so quick. I started taking
Right.
the medicine that I needed to take so soon, so quickly, and nothing happened. No
Right.
results came. I got even worse. The lesson that I learned from that is that we as people have to sit in our trauma instead of trying to overcome it. Sometimes the
Right.
answer is not there. It's not in front of you.
It'll never be in front of you.
It's
It's never gonna be in front of you. It's like, where is Waldo? You have to really search for the answer.
you have
But
to really
you want
search.
to put in the work.
You have to really search. That's that's the thing about it. What is the work? What
It
work are we
depends on the
putting in?
situation and who the person.
Let's take your situation and you. What work did you put in for
The work that
yourself?
I put in. Okay, so I started dressing different, like more like myself, more like dressy, like dressing up, putting makeup on, like starting feeling good about myself, going to the gym, eating healthier, like actually started feeling good physically, mentally, like started going. So I started taking anxiety medicine because my anxiety was just that bad. So now, like mentally, I'm doing extremely well too. So I'm working on fixing everything that was broken, but like taking small little steps. Like I'm not trying to do everything all at one time. It takes every single day. I just take one day at a time, 1 second at a time.
Mm-hmm. One second, 1 minute, 1 hour, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. And it's crazy how much all this preparation gets compound. When I went to my divorce and I was learning more about myself, I started making videos like crazy. I started going on social media like crazy, posting, expressing myself, expressing my emotions. It's really just finding a way
Mm-hmm.
to cope with them. What I've learned is that we all deal with something, but a lot of times we don't have the
Right.
mechanisms to solve the problem. So as I'm making these videos, I'm seeing the numbers go up. I'm seeing a lot of people are watching it. A lot of people are interacting with it. A lot of people are sharing it. A lot of people are coming and like, man, I was just feeling like that. I've learned we're dealing with something, but we're
Mm-hmm.
not the only ones dealing with it. So once I identified that, I'm like, oh, I just did something without me even identifying what I just did. Done. Now fast forward a couple months, I'm able to bring value the best way I can because I understand we all go through life. We all go
Mm-hmm.
through trauma. We all go through healing. But it's the day that we accept it that becomes
Yeah, because
difficult.
it's a hard pill to swallow.
It swallow. You
Uh,
can't even swallow it.
it's hard to take right there. It's, it's hard to accept the facts.
it it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
accept the facts. How did you get get to the point where you say, okay, Nothing's changing, but I'm gonna accept the fact that's here and how I'm feeling. I'm going to accept it.
Mm, that's the crazy thing. I feel like I didn't. So, like with my situation, with the person that I was with and how I was acting in that, like the way that we're acting towards each other in that relationship, I honestly didn't accept like, how we were in that relationship till I left and got to like evaluating everything. And like we even tried to like work it out. But I like took like steps like took like sat back and like was just watching like I don't think I really like how things are going. And like at the end we kind of like made a mutual like agreement. Like this is just not gonna work. And like when I step back and look back at the relationship, I'm like, I let a lot of things slide, and he also let a lot of things slide. But for me, because I really let myself go, I let him just do whatever he wanted to do. So it was just like I let him just do whatever. I let a lot of things go, a lot of things slide. And it was a lot of things like in my head, I would tell other people, like, don't accept that. Like, you deserve better than that. When I wasn't even, thinking about myself at the time, like, I don't deserve that either. So now that I look back at it, I'm like, I don't deserve any of the things that I've gone through in that relationship at all. Because I was a better person now that I see my worth. Because back then, I didn't see anything at all but that person. I forgot all about myself and would just
Mm.
focus on just that person. And that's what my problem was. Because he always thought about him, but I never thought about
Mm-hmm.
myself was the problem.
And when you just described that,
Mm-mm.
you didn't put a blame on him. You didn't say that he did this, he did that, and I'm acting this way because of this and that. You didn't say that. You took full
Yeah. Because
accountability
he
for
ain't have
what you done.
my like knife in my throat. He have
Uh-huh.
no gun to my head. He can't force me to do anything that I don't want to do.
That is a valid point. That is a valid point. That is a valid point. I've learned in order to really start growing, we have to stop putting the
Mm-hmm.
blame on everybody else and recognize what we've done wrong. I didn't love myself. I didn't even know what a relationship was. We don't speak about the things, the dynamics of a relationship. What is a relationship? How do you build it? How do you grow it? How do you stay with it? How do you understand it? How do you understand each other? We don't have these conversations. What we have is like, she's cute. I want her number. Now we're gonna talk. Now we're gonna date. Realizing that is not a relationship.
We
Okay?
we just want a
That is
companion.
it's not.
We just wanted a companion at the time. We was lonely, so we just wanted a shadow by our side. We didn't want to get to know that person. We just wanted somebody right there. We didn't care who the person was. We just wanted the person just right here because we
Mm-hmm.
wasn't comfortable with being by ourselves. Once you
Or didn't know how to be by herself. Or didn't know how to. See, these type of conversations are hard and difficult to have.
that's
But you
true.
have to have them with the right people. You have to have them with people that will understand what you're going through or what you want to accomplish. Like prime example, I was at this at Charlie's place, and it was this older couple that came. When they came in, when I walked in, she complimented him and he complimented her without even saying nothing, just their presence. You can just tell. I'm like, okay, I peep game. Okay. They come to the table. I was sitting by myself, come to the table and said, is anybody seen her? She said, no, yeah, I got it. They sat down. I don't think I asked how long they've been together first, but I asked them what was the secret.
What?
You know what they said, Kaitlyn? Just have fun.
That's
I said, what? I'm thinking these bofos gonna give me something deep.
no.
That wasn't the case. Just have fun. Hmm. It was, I mean, the kids already gone, kids out the house and stuff like that. I done been through mine, she done been through hers, bro. It's like, you just gotta have fun. Hmm. So we talking the whole night. We talking the whole night. And I'm able to really connect with
Right.
people if we got the same energy. If we don't have the same energy, I'm not gonna try to get to know you. I'm not gonna even put
Wasting
myself
energy.
in this situation. You feel me? Mine is conservative, okay?
For
And so as I'm speaking with them, I'm just listening. I'm listening, and I'm peeping game. That's what it takes to identify what you want. You have to go through pain. You have to heal. You have to properly heal. Not just go from one relationship to another. No, you have to heal. Sit your butt down in this pain, in this misery, in this sorrowness, and heal.
And that was
Accept
the
everything. You
problem
start healing.
with that. I healed from mine, from my past. He never did. And I didn't find out until we were deeper into it that he was still in love with somebody else and thought that I was going to do what she did to him. So whatever she did to
Mm,
him,
mm, mm,
he put, and it wasn't fair to me at all. But I understand, like,
mm,
I kind of understand, like, where he was coming from with that, but I don't agree with how he put it on. Because if you just came up and talked to me at the beginning, because I'm an understanding person, just come and talk to me. That's all I ask. You don't gotta lie. You don't gotta keep no secrets.
mm,
I don't really care. Just come and talk to me.
mm.
Most definitely.
Easier said than done. Sometimes, a lot of times, most of the times, we don't know how to communicate.
I'm not gonna lie.
Men
I
do
have
not
that
know how to
same
communicate.
problem. I shut all the way down, and that's mainly because of my anxiety. I get anxious over the outcome. So once my anxiety hit, I start thinking about the what ifs, and I never actually just be like, just go ahead and just say what's on your mind. I'd be like, well, if I say this scenario, or this scenario, or this scenario, or this scenario, I have 1,000 scenarios going on in my head instead of just actually going to see what's actually going to happen. So I'll just shut all the way down, and I won't say anything. I'll just look at you, just be here, and I'll just shut completely down. I won't talk.
And not one what
None
if
at all.
come to reality. See, here's what we as people do. We think of the worst case scenario first. How do we think of something
Right.
if it hasn't happened yet? I've learned that the best way to get over anxiety, whenever you have a thought, whenever you have a feeling, whenever you have an intuition, do it before you start thinking. Because when you start thinking, now you got to ponder your thoughts and actually see what's going to work, what's not going to work, and why it's going to work. Absolutely not. I've learned the
Mm-hmm.
best way to conquer this, whenever I'm feeling something, I'm going to do it. Like, prime example, I was supposed to call my high school coach yesterday. I didn't call him because I forgot to do it. My brother Malik, he brought him back up. It's ironic. The guy I was going to call, he brought him back
Mm-hmm.
up. I was like, I'm about to call him now. I called him now. Well, I called him at the time. He answered the phone, but he was out. He said, "Man, just call me back. I'm out right now." Because I asked him, "Was it a bad time?" He said, "Yeah, right now is a
Right.
bad time, but don't let me forget to call you back." Man, you don't forget.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I'm saying? Just playing with him. But just doing that, when he said
Mm-hmm.
the name, I instantly done it. Because why think about things if it's
True.
already in your head? I'm like, that makes sense. That's how we can overcome anxiety.
Yeah, I've started to just
Right?
not think about things, just go ahead and do it.
Well, what? Okay, instead of what if, what would happen if I do it? What's the worst case scenario?
Like
I
one
don't
of the
know. Let's
things,
find
even though
out.
it's something like so small like this, but it's something like I would have never done months ago. I went on a boat with my friend and her family, and her husband was like, "Come on, Kate,"
Mm-hmm.
because everybody called me Katie. So they was like, "Come on, Katie, let's jump off the top of the boat." And I look at him, and I'm like, what you mean jump off the top?" And he was like, "Come on, it's okay. We all have our life jackets on or whatever." So I go up there, and I'm like, he's like, "Just count to three, and once you get to three, you have to do it." And he made me think about Steve-O from Jackass, because he was like, when he count on three on his fingers, he just go
Yeah.
ahead and do it. He don't think about it, do it. So I was like, "Bet. 1, 2, 3," and when I jumped, I really didn't think about me being in the air till I had hit the water. So I'm like, oh, it's already over by the time you
Yeah.
think about it. So just go ahead and do it. And then I was like, oh, okay. And I just kept doing it after that. Once you get that first jump,
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
It's taking that leap
Mm-hmm.
without even knowing what's going to happen. I went jet skiing. I had the most funnest time of my life. I've never been jet skiing, but I was jet skiing, and that mud took off. And like, I'm like, do. I thought I was going so fast, I was gonna fly off the jet ski. But I was going like, I was having so much fun. I was like, if I jump off and get in the water, it's gonna be fun. But if the water too cold, if the weather was cold, it was too cold. I said, I ain't gonna do this
Mm-hmm.
today. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. But I had fun, right? I enjoyed the moment and the time that we was
Right.
there. I was present. The thing about being present that we understand that life is meant
Mm.
to be enjoyed. You enjoyed that time, and it's like,
Right.
what's the worst to come? I don't do it.
You just
Just do
the only one not having fun
it.
at this point. No, and that
Yeah, I agree. It's life is meant to be enjoyed, but you have to
mm,
understand what you're enjoying.
that is true. It's not meant to
It
be
is. But what dawned on you when I just said that?
like so. I've been trying to like get out of my comfort zone and go out and do things. So a lot of my mom and my friends are like
Mm-hmm.
worried about me, like which I understand. I'm a young girl and it's getting crazy out here. So I always tell them
Mm-hmm.
I'm always watching what I'm doing. I never go out with any random person. Half of the people that I do go out with, I've known since high school, middle school, and they just popped up out of nowhere. So it's not like I always think before I do. I never just go out and do things. I never want to be that girl where y'all go on the news and be like, oh, damn, like, what made her think to just do something? Like, always think. Like, you can always, like, you think just a little bit before you just go off and jump. Like, I want you to always think about the outcome, not every single scenario, but, like, just think of, like, if you go out with this certain person and you already feel, like, in your stomach, like, in your gut, the intuition, like, is something not right? If you even have even a little smidge of that, I wouldn't even go.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And people feel it. You can't tell me
And you
you
can
don't
go out with
feel when
that person
something's
a
not right.
thousand and one times, but you had that one time where you know something not right, I wouldn't go.
You better listen to your intuition. Because people are scary, okay? People are scary. But once you're able again, we go back to identifying who you are. Who you are is a cheat code to understand life, to understand people, to understand your environment. People will tell you things without even being spoken, right? So it's like, okay, if I put myself in this situation, I can't blame nobody
That
but
is true.
myself. Why? Because I knew it. I knew I wasn't supposed to do that. I knew it. I've had a million and one intuitions talking about I shouldn't do it. But what happens when we're feeling that and go against it rather than with it?
Mm, that's a good question. It really just depends on that outcome. I know.
We don't know. We don't know. But it's good to whenever you feel a burning intuition or feeling or something bad,
Mm,
probably you shouldn't do that.
I tried
You shouldn't go.
one person not to go to
A
this one
lot of people
party
are
one
like,
time. I was like, it was just a random party invite, and I was just like, it just don't sound right. Just randomly getting invited to this party. Then the next day, started talking to this person, and it was like somebody tried to do something with them, and they was like no, and they was still trying to force them, and I was like, I wasn't like not trying to in that situation. I was like there for that person, and but like they were like, I should have listened to you. I was like, you shouldn't put blame on yourself because you wanted, you wanted to go, you wanted to have fun. That wasn't your fault. But sometimes if you even feel something, try a little bit harder to just go ahead and get out that situation.
That is true.
Like,
That is true.
everybody
You
got
gotta.
that point where in their life where they get scared and like they know something bad's about to happen, but they're too scared to say anything. But if you know that something bad's about to happen, you don't know you don't know what's gonna happen to you at the end. Just go ahead and fight through it and speak up and say something, do something.
Or leave with something, something. See, we get this feeling and it's pumping, it's pumping, it's pumping, it's pumping, pumping, pumping. But we be like, nah, it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing serious. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and, just go. Granted, she did. I mean, there's no blame. There's absolutely 100% no blame. She went to have fun, but just have
Mm-hmm.
your P's and Q's up. Just be aware. You know, easier said than done. Easier said than done. What I've also learned is that experience is the best teacher. So as we're teaching, sometimes a lot of people are not ready to be taught. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, that's my brother.
mind boggling.
I used to try to help him a lot, but it's got to the point where I wait for him to come to me. I don't even try to go to him anymore. When you come to me, that means you really need some help.
Yeah. And I
But
will
I'm
be
not gonna
here.
keep chasing you. I refuse.
I can't do it. I cannot do it because
It is.
that's draining. That's draining. Not only to you, but to your energy.
Yes. My mom, I have to tell her, like,
Not no more.
me and him have talked. When me and him have not talked, I wait for him to come to me, and then we sit and we analyze, and then we talk. But half the time, me and him hasn't spoke yet. He hasn't even brought it up to me. He just came to you about it. I had no idea about it. I was waiting for him. I'm gonna keep picking the bear. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna keep poking it.
Mm-mm. It's like you trying to drag dead weight that don't
Leave
want to
it
be
there.
dragged.
I'm lazy. Leave it right there.
Do you hear me? I'm gonna look at you. I can't help you.
Yo,
I, I can't help you. That's not my league. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's just really understanding your morals and your principles and your boundaries for yourself as well. Because people will see that you don't have no boundaries and they will run with it. Oh, they
like
will run with it so quick. So quick.
like a track star. They just be
You said, what
gone.
now?
They don't care. They
What are you doing? Come
don't
back.
care about no emotion. Look at you and go.
I need you to come back. No, they already be gone. They
Or
already
you even
gone.
get too
You
worried
feel
about.
me? It's like,
They
yep. But I gave them that power so they can run a marathon with it because I
and
gave it to
then
them.
try to fight.
They know how to. Now, oh, yeah.
All right, but I don't know what to tell you.
Now, I don't know what to tell you, Bucko. I've learned you got to stay in your realm. You got to stay in your where you're good at helping people. Like prime example, if I'm driving on the freeway and you in your car and you pull over to the side because your car has some type of problem, if it's not a flat tire, I cannot help you because I don't know nothing about the engine. I'm not even about to try and look. We both gonna be looking dumb, looking underneath the engine, and we both don't know what we're doing. Listen, listen. If you ain't twisted that mud trying to pull it off and put it back on, I can't help you. You better call your insurance. I was in I had went to the gas station a couple months ago. I was in California. When I went there, this young lady had a flat tire, but she was rolling on it. I said, "Excuse me, man. I'm pretty sure you probably know this, but you roll on a flat tire." She was like, "What? What? I am?" So I put my car in park, lock it, get out the car. So I walk over there. I said, "Do you have a spare tire?" She said, "Yeah, it's in the back. It's in the back." She unlocked it. I opened it. I'm looking. I don't see no flat tire. Okay. I see the tools, but no flat tire. I mean, no spare tire. Okay. So I closed it. I said, "Man, listen, you don't have no flat tire in there. Have you called your insurance?" She was like, I tried to call him, but I don't have the number. Don't worry about it. I got Google for you. Pulled the number up, gave her the number. I said, you have a good day now.
I can't.
I, that's out my limit.
Above my pay grade. I can't help you no more.
Hey, I tried to help, okay? I tried to be a good Samaritan, but you didn't have your tools.
You didn't have to.
I gotta go.
You can't even help yourself. How you expect me to help you?
You you got the wrong one.
Like,
I can't do it. Mm-mm. And then if I give her my spare tire, where my spare tire gonna go? Oh,
because she get the spare tire back, she ain't gonna get your number, no nothing. Mm-mm.
Do you hear me? She ain't be like, here go X amount
She
of
gonna
money for
ride
your
on it
tire.
till that one
Okay.
go out.
She gonna ride on that rim too.
Not the rim.
I'm trying to tell you, that's not my perimeter. I cannot. I will not. No. I gave her the number. I said, ma'am, you have a good day now. Got my car and left. No, I drove slow. I ain't want to make a scene. I drove slow.
I'm like, sir.
You gotta know your limits. You gotta know your boundaries. Sometimes when we try to help everyone, we're hurting ourselves. No more.
Like, my grandma called me today, and she was like, "So, who's your friend?" And I said, "That's what." Whenever she think I'm talking to somebody, she said friend, and I said, "I don't have any friends." And she was like, "Oh, I need to hook you up with somebody, a Richard or a Ralph." I said, "I'm okay. I'm okay by myself, sitting on this couch watching Netflix alone. I'm okay because they gonna disturb me." And I don't need it in my life right now. I got a cool vibe, we can hang out. I don't care. We can hang out as long as you got a cool vibe. But once you step over your limit,
go. You know what? You would say,
I would glad. You ain't got to say it twice. You have to say it the first time. I see your face. I'll go ahead and leave.
You got to protect your peace. I'm telling you, people will tell you who they are without even telling you who they are.
Somebody tried to argue with me. They was like, it takes you 3 months to actually know a person. And I was like, not necessarily. And they was like, yes, it does. I was like, I'm not going to lie. I read the vibe after the first week. So I know whether I talk to you outside of work or you're just a work friend. And as you can see, you made it past the work. And they was like, oh, that's how you feel? And I was like, no, that's just being honest. Y'all don't talk to nobody else in here. I'm not about to waste my time with them. The way that they act in here is how they act outside of work. And they show their ass in work. So how you think they act outside of work? No.
I'm trying to tell you.
No.
I can't do it. You really, if you really want to be technical, you identify a person within the first conversation.
Yeah.
If you really want to be technical,
nice at the first week because they want
to. Yeah. Try to be nice at the first week. You're very conservative, okay? That's what that is. Yeah. Because I know when I want to speak with somebody off our first interaction. If it's good, cool. Let's just change numbers. Let's keep in contact. If it's bad, you have a good one. I'm going to fuck with you.
People that I've slowly started letting in where I just have to be like, okay, it's time for you to go. And I'll just leave them on red. And I've tried to explain multiple times, but I'm not a broken record. I'm not about to keep repeating myself the same statement that I told you from the beginning of us even interacting. And you're still trying to force something that's just not what I want. And you're not going to force me to do anything. I've already been forced to do something I didn't want to do a long time ago. If you back then, probably so. But right now, it's not gonna work because I ain't in school no more.
Mm-mm. Pe- People be like, you ain't got no standards, or you too harsh, or you too whatever. I said, no, I'm honest. You won't want nobody to sugarcoat nothing, especially me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing.
See, I've
Okay.
been friends said I was wrong for telling this one guy this because the guy started messaging me, and I was like, I'm gonna just be honest with you. If you're just trying to do, you're gonna have to call somebody else. But if you're actually trying to talk to get to know me, then we could talk. And he was like, Katie, that was you. You just assuming that's what he wanted to do. No, I read the vibe from the messages. You have a vibe coming off in messages as well as you do in conversations.
I thought I
You
was the
type how
only
you
one that
talk.
recognized that. I thought I'm telling you, it's a cheat code. You better practice
Because
on
I
yourself.
could always tell from the first couple text messages what you're trying to do. Like, hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That it's crazy. Energy is crazy. Once you understand it, if you understand it, it's a blind. You're blinded by
Right.
something that's there right in front of you. Cause, whew, just, I
Mm-mm.
thought I was the only one that recognized it.
A lot of people do it and they don't even realize like they putting off a certain energy. Like they always say you can never tell how a person is like talking. Like you could think somebody yelling in a text message, but they actually just talking to you regular. We're like it's a whole bunch of different things that you could express through text message than you could do through actually
Mm-hmm.
talking in conversation. Like you could actually feel like when you're about to have like if somebody's distant, you could feel it through the text message. When somebody's like super like into what you're talking about, you could tell and through the text message. Like you always give off an energy no matter how you communicate with somebody.
And it's crazy. We learned all of that from
Mm-hmm.
pain and healing. That's dangerous. I'm trying to tell you, if you ain't woke, you better get woke. You'll be left
Already
behind.
a bunch of them.
Hey, no hard feelings, but you gotta, you know, I
Yeah,
don't know.
you
You gotta
gotta
figure
do.
something out. I was with my mama the other day, and she had saw a young lady we was talking to and stuff like that. We go in the car. She was like, she was cute. I said, yeah, but she ain't been through life. she ain't been through life. She was like, son, you so stupid. I said, no, I'm honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honest. You can tell. Like, mm-mm,
Like
mm-mm,
I
mm-mm,
had a friend try to
mm-mm.
hook me up with this
Looks,
one guy, and I played along with her while we was standing like in front of him, but I never messaged the person or nothing. And now he has a whole bunch of issues going on that she was trying to put on to me, and I'm like, because I could feel
no,
it through like when he at work, that's his safe haven. When he go home, he got too much stuff to deal with. You could tell in the
too
face. Your
much.
face says a lot more than you think.
Do you hear me? And I'm trying to tell you. And then I got to
Mm-hmm.
a point where I stopped explaining. Some people, I was talking to this young lady. I got a number, and she told me that she feel the chemistry. I was gonna ask her why. Like, how do you not feel the chemistry within one day, one interaction? Then I was like, okay, thank you for telling me that. I didn't even text back. For what? There's
Mm-mm.
no need. You don't need to explain. I don't need to
We're not
explain.
about to beg or plead.
Okay. No, I'm not. Okay. Thank you. I didn't respond. I didn't respond. However, you know your
Mm-hmm.
worth just like I know my worth.
Maybe we just not on the same level.
We ain't. I ain't about to change.
Change who I was
We
because it took a
definitely ain't.
long, hard minute to get to where I am today. So if you're not willing to grow with
Me
me,
too.
ain't no need for you being. Because I'm not about to be stuck in the same spot for the next 25. I got things that I want to accomplish in my life. I want to try. I want to see something with my life.
Do you hear? I want to do something. I want to accomplish something. Something's going to happen. I'm trying to tell you, you better recognize. Katie, have you ever been on a podcast? It just was.
This is a podcast. Cut it out.
I mean, do you mind if I post it as a podcast?
No, that's fine.
Do you mind if I post it as a podcast? Okay, I'm okay. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it on YouTube too. Cause
you gotta send it to me.
Go ahead.
When you post it on YouTube.
I will. Send me when you get a chance. Do you mind seeing a picture of you?
Yeah.
To me. You. Yeah, then I put it on YouTube. The reason being because the conversation was so good, and it's going to help somebody that's dealing with trauma or a breakup or trying to find themselves. This conversation is going to help somebody. I don't know who, I don't know when, I don't know where.
My anxiety went up when you said podcast, but then I was like, just go ahead and you never know. Let's just see. Maybe y'all might decide to actually do something another day and then help somebody else.
You see what I'm saying? It was just ironic. You hopped on the conversation. I'm like, this is great. This is what your anxiety kicked in because I said podcast. This is a lot.
I've been seeing a lot of people come in and out, and every time I see the number come in and out, I look, but it's just like it's me just trying to. I have to stay focused and not worry about that. I was just trying to stay focused on the conversation and not worry about who in here listening or who watching.
Yeah, I was dialed in the whole time, the whole conversation. You know, because you real pain recognize pain and growth recognize growth. Just like you said.
Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been.
Yeah, it has. It has. What do you go by, Kaitlyn or Katie? Katie? Okay.
I hear Kaitlyn by my boss or when I'm in trouble, but I told my boss to start calling me Katie unless I'm in trouble, because my mom was only one. Actually, my mom was really the only one who called me Kaitlyn. My nephew called me Katie, so I go by Katie.
I got you. Katie, listen. When I post it, whenever you send me the picture, I'll post it tonight or tomorrow.
Okay.
Then I'll send it to you. I'll send the link to you. Katie, I'm about to hop off. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. Likewise. I'm happy of the growth that you developed in yourself as well. I can really see the
growth from the last time that I've seen you. Years.
When was the last time you saw me?
I want to say school.
That's valid. That's valid. That is valid. You're a different Katie. I'm a different Terrell.
You too. Yeah.
All right, woman. It was a pleasure.